Shop talk, shy shutty up, shy day, shy up, shop tie, shutty up, shop talk.
He is Lord. He is Lord. He is risen from the dead, and He is Lord. Oh, every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. He is Lord. He is Lord. He is Lord. He has risen from the dead. He is Lord. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, 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 Jesus Christ is Can't make me doubt Him. Have to realize that I'm nothing without Him. Yeah, didn't have to do it, but I'm glad He did. Yeah. You made the lame, I made the blind, you see. On the cross you bled and died for me. No, I never felt a greater love. I thank God for sending you from above. You have all power in your hand. You destroyed the devil's plan, and you didn't have to do it, but I'm glad you did. So glad you did. You can say what you want, you can do what you will, but as long as I live, I'm living for you. I'm living for you. Everything that I do it for you. Yeah. Don't mistake my groove. This groove is for you. Owe it all to you. Some people may not believe. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. Oh, Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ is Lord.
What is going on, good people? It is your man D-Toll. It is another day's journey, and I am super glad about it. Listen, We want to welcome everyone to Shop Talk. You already know what it is. It's everyone's favorite show right here on everyone's favorite network. Listen, we're streaming on a bunch of different platforms, but you already know how we do. We make things happen every week right here on the Shop Talk family of networks. Do me a favor, those of you who are hanging out with us, we want to make sure that everyone knows what's going on. So do me a favor, get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo, Threads, whatever it might be. But you know who you got to tell. You got to tell your mama and them, Ray Ray, Shay Shay, Day Day, Delicious Nim, Nuck Nuck Nim, Pojo Nim. Let them all know that we are live right here, right now on the Shop Talk family of networks. And listen, we are excited about it. Now, before we do anything, I need to let you know that my name is Demetrius Toll Free. How do you know? Because it literally says so right there on the screen. You can hit me up everywhere at D Toll Free, at DTOLEFREE. That is on Facebook. That's on Twitter if you use it. That's on Instagram, Threads, all those other great platforms. If it's social media and you want to holler at me, at DTOLFree, DTOLEFREE is how to find me. All right, y'all, listen, I want to welcome everyone who is watching us live. And I've had a few people hit me up who have been asking me, when do we stream live? We do it on Wednesdays. Those of you who are available to hang out with us live on Wednesdays, you can join the conversation live on Wednesdays on Facebook and on YouTube. We do it at 10 a.m. Pacific, as well as, and it also streams, of course, live same time at 1 p.m. Eastern. We stream, of course, on my personal page, as well as on the Freedom Radio Shop Talk, Freedom Radio, rather, YouTube and Facebook pages. All right, though, with that being said, we have an incredible show lined up for you. We've got a lot of things that we want to discuss. And the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to my homie that is hanging out with us. First one to chime in today, my home girl out in the ATL. Cheryl Galloway is in the building. What is going on? Glad to have you hanging out with us. It's going to be a great day. We're going to make some things happen. Listen, as we're doing all of this today, do me a favor, make sure those of you specifically on Facebook, why don't you tag 3 people and let them know what it is that you're watching. That way that they can join in with us and join the conversation, just like my homegirl, Alicia Dace, who is closing in on the 50 club. My girl, she is a twin. Of course, I have twins, so I always have, my heart goes out to those people who are twins. So Alicia Dace in the building. Glad to have her in the building. And again, Cheryl Galloway is now giving us the wave emoji as she's hanging out with us today on YouTube. All right, y'all, let's get ready to bring up our first co-host. I'm going to go a little bit out of order. I know. I normally go to Hercules, and I am, but I'm not going where I normally go first. I'm going to go up the road a little bit, and I'm going to knock on, I can't even get it out. My voice is gone. We're going to knock on the door, tap on the window pane of my guy who is in the virtual building, hanging out with us, ready to make things happen. Let's bring him up without further ado, my guy and yours, the incredibly talented and always funny Ja'Cory Prothro. Ja'Cory in the building. Man, what is going
Good morning. Woo. It's one of them mornings. I can't find my voice this morning. Praise the Lord, everybody. I got my testimonial voice on, my preacher voice today.
Yeah. You sound like you've been running revival. I feel you, man. I'm in the same boat today, man. I can barely get my voice out like I want to. But while we're hanging out with it, I want to give a shout out to my guy who is in the building, Deshaun Little, who is saying to you specifically, he ain't talking to me because I didn't get a chance to make it. But Deshaun Little is talking to you, Ja'Cory, and wanted to let you know that he wants to appreciate you for coming. Deshaun, I didn't get a chance to make it, man. As you can hear, I'm still under the weather, and I didn't want to contaminate all of the constituents at your event, but I did get a chance to watch it. But Deshaun, we still want to be a blessing to you, man. So if you could shoot us a way to either Cash App,
yes, indeed,
Venmo, Zelle, whatever it is, man, we still want to be a blessing to you, man, because you are Bay Area. I want to consider you Bay Area royalty, man, because you always have looked out for me. So I definitely want to be a sow a seed into you. And if you don't want to put it in the chat, that's cool. You can hit me directly, man. I will make sure that when we are done today, that you hear from me in a very special way. All right, y'all. Listen, today is a great day to be in here with us. And I see you, Alicia. She says she's mad that she missed it. She was out of the country. She's doing what she can to make things happen. But listen, yeah, and Deshaun, you do deserve all the love. We all do love and appreciate you, man. Again, you've been looking out for me for as long as I can remember. Anytime you had an opportunity to look out for me, you've done it. And I definitely want to be able to sow into you, bro. So make sure you send me that info. Again, if you don't want to send it on the big screen, it's all good. Hit me up directly.
Send it on the big screen. No, send it on the big screen. If
Okay.
you were there to hear the testimony actually flow from his mouth, it was nothing short of amazing. To know somebody and be, that be your brother, somebody you talk to, a friend, and know that they've been through 3 strokes in the air. I mean, it was dynamite. And then have you seen the viral clips that have been coming from the lights going off while worship was going
I
forth?
did see that. Yeah, I did see that. That was amazing. Crystal Lene said, lights or nah, music or nah, we're going to keep making things happen. So I love it. And I see you, Deshaun, he has chimed in and has given us this information. And so we definitely want to do what we can to sow into this good ground. Deshaun Little is good ground. All right, y'all, I'm going to keep that up just for a moment. But while we're doing that, listen, let's get ready to bring up our next co-host down the street, around the corner, in an undisclosed, never been invited to location in Hercules. It's my homegirl. She is in the building. She always makes me laugh as well. Let's bring her up without further ado. The incredibly talented, trying to fix her hair, make things happen, always funny, Ashlyn Tara
Whew.
Cole.
Look,
Ashlyn, girl, what
listen,
is going
listen.
on?
What had happened was we're having a fire
Oh,
alarm in my building, and I was literally in the shower and had to jump out. So, y'all just love me anyway. This is me post shower. People shouldn't see this. This should not be public information.
my
Um,
Lord.
But here we are, and I didn't want to miss the show, and so I'm here. So shout out to all the people who are listening to our show and can't see our show. You have no idea what I'm saying. I look amazing. Just that's all you need to know. I look amazing.
Absolutely. It is all good. We are glad to have you hanging out. Again, Deshaun is still hanging out with us and he shouts out to you that he loves you and it's all good. Shout out to Ashley Monet in the virtual building joining us on YouTube. Glad to have her hanging out. Erica Taylor in the building hanging out with us on Facebook as well. And so many others. Feel free to chime in the chat. Those of you watching, feel free to chime in the chat. We would love to shout you out. All right, y'all. Let's get things going. And as we do so, we're going to get started today with today's National Day. I only have 3 that I want to lift up. Does that sound churchy? I guess that does sound churchy. I just want to lift up. I have three national days I want to lift up. One that in particular never applies to me now that I've gotten older, and that is today is National Backyard Day. National
Mm.
Backyard Day. I have a backyard. I just never go out in it.
That's Jacory. Jacory is the backyard king. Let me tell you, every week, I'm like, "What you doing?" Oh, just cleaning up the backyard. He has a massive. You could build 3, 4 homes on his backyard. It
It's
is
ridiculous.
massive, massive.
Well, you know what? I've been to his house and I've seen through the windows that incredible backyard. So yeah, and I remember in our earlier days, Jacory would go outside during shop talk
Oh,
and would
sure.
stream from the backyard. So yeah, I know all about it. Shout out to my guy Stephen Parker in the building. Stephen Parker, an incredible Bay Area host, hanging out with us. All right, y'all. Secondly, today is National Certified Nurses Day. Certified Nurses Day. Many of you know I have twin daughters, both of them who are in the medical field. Both of them are actually CNA certified, but one is now working at Kaiser doing some different things, and the other is about to be a LVN in a couple of months. She's getting ready
Mm.
to graduate out of LVN school. So definitely want to celebrate them today. Now, if I tell them today is Certified Nurses Day, they're gonna want me to spend some money. So I'm gonna keep that just between us. But
Silent.
anyway, right. Even though one is upstairs, she might be listening in. But anyway, I don't have no money. I don't have no money. Lastly, today is National Chocolate Caramel Day. Chocolate Caramel
Yes,
Day.
please. Hallelujah.
Mm-mm,
Hallelujah.
mm-mm.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Can't even eat that.
For the chocolate caramel.
Mm-mm.
Hallelujah.
Uh,
Together? No,
Hallelujah.
maybe separate. Ooh,
I
speaking of that, I
can't
got a
eat it.
piece.
I mean, I can eat it. Look, I'm choosing not to eat it. Okay, look what had happened was, okay, look. I love me some chocolate caramel. I love anything caramel. Okay, caramel. You can put caramel on a cake. You could put caramel on ice cream. You could put caramel in coffee. You could put caramel, just drizzle it on a plate. It's all good. Put it
Mm,
on a spoon. Caramel
good
is,
God.
I mean, but it's just pure sugar. So I don't even really have a chance to talk about this on Freedom Radio, but last year around November, my doctor said that I was pre-diabetic. And I said, oh no, the devil is a liar. Sugar will not be exalted. No.
Mm,
So I quit sugar in December. That's been, every now and then I have just a little bit. I was eating sugar every day, and I didn't realize how much sugar I was eating until my doctor gave me that prognosis. I said, "Oh no, that will not be me." So I chocolate caramel. Look, today is your day. I love you. I miss you. I miss you, the homie. Like for real. You got me through some really tough times. Like some tough, tough times. As Jacory is eating some chocolate and caramel in my face,
mm. Lord God.
he's
you know
not a
what?
friend to me today. He's not my friend
I'm
Mm,
today.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not a big chocolate person. I do caramel frap. I will do a caramel
Oh
frap like
yeah,
from
caramel frap. Caramel
yeah.
apples. I don't know if
I do
anybody
caramel
still
apples.
eats caramel apples.
I
Okay,
do caramel
see?
apples. Yeah, yeah. So and now not to start a debate. I'm not here to start a debate, but I am a caramel frap person, and I have to say publicly that McDonald's caramel frap is better than Starbucks. I just thought I'd throw that out there for free. McDonald's
mm.
caramel frap is way better than the ones from Starbucks.
Why? Why? Why?
I feel like McDonald's mixes all of the ingredients better
Mm.
and puts enough caramel, enough whipped cream to make it happen. So I'm not trying to start a debate, but I'm just letting you know, in my personal
What you
opinion, as a
say?
caramel frapologist, that I would prefer.
Rapologist.
Yes, you can have that for free.
Mm.
As a
Have you?
frapologist, yeah, I prefer
Interesting.
McDonald's over
I,
Starbucks.
I I think that there are people today all across America that would go do a taste test, and I would like to challenge people. I'm not going to partake because it's sugar. Okay, I'm not going to partake. And if you have sugar, just don't do it. Okay, you could step out of this one. You could compare Safeway broccoli to Whole Foods broccoli. Okay, you could do that. Could be your taste test today. That could be your taste test
Mm,
today. Jesus, or Trader Joe's broccoli. Their broccolini. Let me tell you, Trader Joe's broccolini is the Lord's doing.
I do agree.
Well,
But I don't. I will not. I will not know. I will not know, Dito, if that is a truth or if it's just an opinion. Because I will not be trying nobody's frappuccino.
I'll tell you this. Erica Taylor chimes in with the funny of the day. She says, "But is their frap machine working? The ice cream because the ice cream machine never is."
Never works.
I'm with it. I'm not. I'm laughing, but I'm trying not to. Anyway, Alicia Day
Hilarious.
says that their iced coffee is better than Starbucks too, and it is cheaper. You know what? It's all good. Listen, we're going to keep things going, and we're going to get ready to chime in really quick to today's birthdays, and I only have two. I only have two
Mm.
today. Two people that we all should know. First of all, the incredible actor extraordinaire, Bruce Willis. I know he's going through some challenges and has been going through some challenges lately, but today is his birthday.
You
He
see?
turned 70. He turned 70 today. And
Happy
then last but not least, Yandy Smith. Most of us know her from Love and Hip Hop. She started with Love and Hip
Mm.
Hop New York, uh, and then now has matriculated. Is that a good word? She now has matriculated
You're
to, that's church talk. But now she has matriculated to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, as she has moved to that area. But today is her 43rd birthday. 43rd birthday. So you know what we do, Ashlyn? It's the time for us to throw it out to you to encourage someone on their birthday. The virtual floor is now yours.
Well, praise ye the Lord. Today is your birthday. So look, it's the day that the Lord has made. He created you and formed you. Okay, go back to Genesis. I need you to go back and read Genesis today. Okay, and know what God did for you. But He also did it for us because He gifted us with you. So I want you to celebrate today, okay? Whatever that looks like. If it means a frappe ministry today, then go frappe away, all right, on your birthday. Oh, that's bars. Okay. But if not, just look yourself in the mirror and say, look at God's creation. Look at God's creation. So look, from all of us here at Freedom Radio, Shop Talk, all of our affiliates, our associates, happy birthday.
That's good stuff, Ashton. I appreciate you doing that. Good stuff. Listen, we're going to keep things going, but in doing so, we're going to get ready to bring up our next co-host, hanging out with us out in Charlotte of North Carolina. I know, yeah, I know how to do that too. My kids and my granddaughter try to keep me young. Anyway, out in Charlotte, North Carolina, is my homegirl, incredible graphic designer. She is the the person who does all of our Greek Freedom Radio and Shop Talk graphics as well as for so many people around the country and world. But she's not only a great graphic designer, she's just an all around great person. And I'm ready to bring her up without further ado. My homegirl and yours, the incredibly talented Yolanda. Wow, praise Morant, Yolanda in the building.
Oh,
Girl, what is
yo,
going on?
yo, what's happening? Y'all good?
All is well. All is well. Glad to have you hanging out with us. You
Good,
good?
good. Yeah, I'm good. I want to share something else about Yandy. I love I can't get it right. I love and hip hop. I do love Jesus, so don't judge me, okay? But I've been watching Love and Hip Hop since it started. But most people don't know Yandy. She also managed the career of the rapper Jim Jones for quite a
Yes.
long time. So
Yes.
yeah, that girl's doing her dang thing. I didn't know she was 43. She looks incredible. But I
Yeah,
didn't know she's doing
she is 43. She's doing her thing. Yeah, I remember. I remember when she was managing him. Actually, that was kind of her inroad into love and hip hop in New
Mhm.
York. So I remember all that. She's an
Yeah.
amazing young lady, a boss chick, if you will allow me to say. And
Yeah.
we are glad to have her mentioned on today's show. And again, glad to have you, Yolanda. All right, y'all. Let's get things going. And let's get ready to talk about a couple of things. First thing I want to do is mention I didn't get a chance to make it over the weekend. My Fridays are always booked up. But Ashlyn, you got a chance to participate in a great event over the weekend at Yoshi's here in the Bay Area. It was a tribute to both Angie Stone and Roberta Flack. Thanks to Jacory, I got a chance to see a couple of clips. And but just tell me, I mean, what was your experience with that whole thing?
I thought it was fantastic. If I do say so myself, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It was myself, Zuri Soul, Ariel Marin, Nisi Living Single, and Terry Odabi, and it was put on by Mark Elliott, who promoted and sponsored the show. And shout out to Yoshi's. It was absolutely amazing. So we did the first half of the show was to Angie Stone, and we each did one song, and then we transitioned. And shout out to Stephen Parker, who was our MC for the evening. He did a wonderful job. And then we transitioned into Roberta Flack, which you can't really do Roberta Flack or tribute her without tributing Donny Hathaway. Like they were really one of the same. So Jacory Prothro, our very own Jacory Prothro, stepped in and sang Donny Hathaway. And let me tell you, Jacory really came through. I promise you. And so it was just amazing. I think the highlight of the night for me was being able to tribute Roberta Flack, as well as my mother, as well as my sister who was in the audience, whose husband and sister just passed away a couple months ago. And I
Oh,
was able to tribute all of them with singing "The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face." And it was a very powerful moment for me, because I remembered that my mother had taught me that song right as I walked on stage. I was like, wow, my mother taught me this song. So I don't think it was a dry eye in the house, including my own. And it was just absolutely beautiful. But it was put together well. The band was amazing. Shout out to the band. I don't know everybody's name right off the top of my head, but shout out to them. And everybody who bought a ticket. We had 4 days to promote that show. 4 days. And it was almost sold out. It was almost sold out. And so shout out to everyone who bought a ticket and came through.
That's good stuff. I love it. I feel like that was definitely a great time to do it. Was that date just happened to be open, or was that the date that Angie Stone was originally supposed to be there?
No, so that date happened to be open, and Yoshi's was going to just have a closed date, but Mark Elliott spoke to them and they offered him that date. It happened to be the same day as her funeral services that morning. And so it was just a wonderful Angie Stone day, and including Roberta Flack in that as well. So it was wonderful.
Absolutely. I think that's good stuff. I'm glad that you were able to participate. Again, I couldn't be there. I haven't figured out how to be omnipresent as of yet, but I was glad to know that you represented, excuse me, the Bay Area so very well, as you always do.
Thank
We're
you.
going to keep things going. I want to just take a moment. I don't do well. We have been doing this lately because we talked about, Roberta Flack. We talked about Angie Stone last week. We talked about Dwayne Wiggins and so many other people who have recently transitioned. I want to take a moment to lift up the name personally of my godfather who passed on Sunday night.
Oh,
The
wow.
pastor and superintendent Gerald E. Harris,
oh,
incredible man of God. A lot of who I am as an adult man,
Wow.
as a preacher, as a singer, a lot of that it has been inspired by this man, Gerald Harris, who pastored the Bethany Community Church of God in Christ in Gilroy, California. He
Wow.
was going through a lot of physical challenges, and I went and saw him a few months ago because he had went through an amputation, and I wanted to be there as a son of his ministry, just to be able to be there to go and encourage him. And as most good preachers do, I went to go encourage him. But before I knew it, he was encouraging me and giving me words and telling me how to make things happen. I just want to take a moment to stop and mention this man of God. Thank you, Dee Dee Felder, who says she's praying for me. Thank you so much. A great loss, not only to the Bay Area, but a great loss to the Church of God in Christ. For many years, many of you may not know, but he was over the security for the entire
Mm.
Church of God in Christ. So anytime we had an event, anytime we had a convention, he was the one who was galvanizing everyone together for the security purpose, because he was the warden at Soledad Prison. He was the warden. He was the shot caller at Soledad Prison for many, many years. For many years, he was the associate warden, then the warden, then he finally retired. But he, on Sunday night, after going to church for the final time, he hadn't been to church in over 2 years, went to church on
wow.
Sunday because he wanted to say, he's even saying he wanted to go to his church one more time. It was their 33rd church anniversary. He went to church, saw all the people was loving on him, all these type of things. He went home, closed his eyes, went home to be with the Lord. So I just want to take a moment from my heart to the heart of the Bay Area to mention this incredible man of God, Gerald Harris. You're right, Jonathan Johnson. Many of you may remember him doing this song, I Know the Bible is Right. He sang that at Bishop G.E. Patterson's church. Somebody's wrong. He had so many verses. He said, I told you time and time again, you can't make it to heaven while you're sipping gin. He said, because I know the Bible is right. Somebody's wrong. And many of you may not know, but he actually recorded Great Is Thy Faithfulness with me on my
Mm.
last CD. And I just want to take the time to stop and mention him. Great man of God. He was surely be missed. But from our home and our hearts to the Harris family, we just want to say that we love him, we love you, and we'll be there to do all that we can to lift the name of Jesus up in our time of remembrance of him. All right, y'all, let's get ready to keep things going. Try to pull myself together because I've got some place to go.
Oh yeah, I
All
couldn't.
right,
I
y'all.
just you detail.
Yeah. It's all good. Listen, I want to make a mention. I think last week we talked about this, but I'm going to keep mentioning it that March is National Women's Month. We
Yeah.
have two great women that work with us here in the Shop Talk arena. Ashlyn Cole, who is always doing something to promote great music, not just gospel music, but music in its entirety. I want to shout her out, but and I think I did this last week, and hopefully we didn't make her cry, and definitely don't want to make that happen today. But Yolanda, today is your day for me to talk to you. And that is, I want to encourage you as one of the women here at Shop Talk. It's National Women's Month. You have been not only a great friend, but you, young lady, have been an inspiration to graphic designers literally across the country. I remember when we first met. It has now been 15 years that you and I have been friends. We met through Devin Watkins, my bro,
Yeah.
who introduced us because I was getting ready to release my CD, the one I was just talking about with Pastor Harris on it. And you so graciously did the graphics. And based on that, we became friends. I've come to Denver, Colorado for you, and we've been to Stella Awards and all kind of places. I want to take a moment to encourage you during this National Women's Month to tell you that where you are right now is not nowhere near the plateau of where you're getting ready to go to. The doors that are going to open for you, and I'm no prophet, I'm just telling you what I believe. The doors that's getting ready to open for you, first of all, only person that can open it is God. No man will be able to take credit for the door that's getting ready to open for you, the stages that you're going to be on, the people that you're going to meet, the hands that you're going to shake. Is only going to be because of God. And when you get to that next level, when you get to that next plateau, and the money that you thought that was never going to come because you want to be so competitive with your rates, when you get to this next level, the rates that you do won't even matter because you will only be a consultant to other people. You doing graphics is really just an inroad to your queendom because you're getting ready to enter into a queendom of graphic design to where you'll be able to say, no, don't do that. Yes, that good. That looks good. No, don't do that because people will have to represent you and they won't be able to put the Wild Praise Media logo on there until you give them the okay. So I cannot wait to see and watch you walk through this next door of opportunity because not only are you a woman, you're a great woman, you're getting ready to go into your own personal queendom. And I am glad to be able to say that I knew you when. And hopefully, when you get there, you remember somebody just like me. All right, y'all, I'm done. I just wanted to speak that word of life into Yolanda. Yolanda, I wasn't trying to make you cry. I just wanted to encourage you because you encourage so many other people and you do so many things for people around the country that I just wanted to mention you and celebrate you during the month of March, this time of National Women's Month.
Can I
All
say
right, y'all.
I
Yeah,
want
you can. Absolutely, you can.
first I want to say thank you so much. Recently I was having a moment about something and one of my friends said, "You're tripping." You know how far you've come. And
Yeah.
so most people don't know, without being long-winded. My story is really more complex than people would ever imagine. And I always tell people I've lived a life of like 25 people in one body.
Yeah.
And so, I just really appreciate you. You've always believed in me since the day we met. And I remember when you called me and
Absolutely.
said, I'm going to start a radio. You were like in the early parts of Freedom Radio. And I was like, what? You were like, I want you to do radio. And I was like, do what?
Yeah.
I just remember these moments, and I'm just, you've always respected me, always valued me, but you've always respected. I have a very serious love for gospel music in real life. Like I'm very I feel like I'm the defender of gospel music, and I love us so much, and I
I
want us to
love
do
that.
well
The
and be what.
gospel defender. That's
That's
your
good. I
title
like
now. The
that. I
I
gospel
like that.
do because
defender. Come
I
on.
think people. a lot of times, first, thank you for your words. I'm like very
Absolutely.
moved. I think a lot of times people misunderstand gospel artists, people, church, because they think that we are without blemish, that we are without stain, that we don't go through, that when you give your life to Jesus or you choose to sing gospel music, Jesus opens a special portal that means you go through nothing. That's not what happens. I think sometimes your life becomes, depending who you are and where you are, your life becomes more, public. Your life becomes on the spectrum. People, you can step on a tack and people think you should have stepped on something else. It is the most complex, confusing situation at times. And I just, but our lives are not like that. No matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, you will be surprised at how your favorite gospel artist is not sure if you'll like the song, so they never put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I just wanted to say thank you so much, because you've always uplifted me, always encouraged me, but you've also given me a space to where I can share about this amazing music that we sing. I'm very grateful to you. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do it with great joy, and definitely, as Erica Taylor mentioned about giving you your flowers while you're here. Absolutely, we're going to do
Thank
that.
you.
Continue to do that, and we look forward to moving forward together, as well as seeing you on your next level. All right, y'all. Listen, it's time to move on. We've got so much going on, and I want to talk about something that I didn't think I was going to talk about, and that is many of us got a chance to see the funeral last week, or the fume, depending on where you come from, of Angie Stone. There was two. I
Mhm,
seen two. I primarily see the one in Georgia. I didn't see it as much as the one in South Carolina, I believe it was.
mhm,
But incredible. I did get a chance to see Tyler Perry, who got on stage, who I understand paid for
Mm.
that funeral. I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing because I was working. Of course, I got to make a living. But some things happened during that funeral. Tyler Perry got a chance to get on stage, and he was being Tyler Perry, man. He is an encourager, and he knows how to talk that talk, man, and make things happen, encourage people, and then walked away and pretty much dropped the mic in Tyler Perry fashion.
sure,
But
for sure.
after the funeral, or a few days later, a couple of days later, social media has blown up because Tyler Perry was talking and mentioning about, where is Angie Stone's money? Many of you know that she was talking about, the money that she felt like she would do from record labels and all these kind of things. And uh, Tyler Perry touched on that in his comments. Later in the weekend, uh, Monique, the great comedian and actress Monique,
Mm.
took to social media, and she wrote a open letter, if you will, to Tyler Perry. I'm going to put it on the screen. You may or may not be able to see it
My
because
God.
of the small letters on it. But I tell you what I am going to do. I have it in front of me, and I'm going to read some excerpts of what she wrote. So here is what Angie Stone said to Tyler Perry. She said, "Dear Tyler Perry, I recently watched your heartfelt speech to Angie
Wait,
Stone."
wait,
That's
wait a minute. You said what Angie Stone said to Tyler Perry.
well,
Let's
when you get as
clarify.
much gray, when you get as much
Let's
gray as I have,
clarify.
when Monique wrote this, Monique, forgive me, Monique wrote this to Tyler Perry. Thank you, Ashton, for listening. So Monique said, "I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry." She said, "It struck me and my husband Sydney as poignant, but she said, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions toward me." She said,
Read.
Thank you, sir. She says, you expressed anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me difficult to work with, despite never having worked with me. How can you condemn poor treatment of others when you impose the same on me? We have audio of you admitting you were wrong.
My
Number
God.
two, she says you were asked, "Where's the money she owed?" She's owed. Talking about Angie Stone. She says to Tyler Perry, this is Monique still speaking, "Where's my public apology that you promised in 2016? The false narrative you perpetrated helped blackball me. costing me tens of millions. Where's the restitution of that? Number three, she says, you mentioned being tired of us not receiving the benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation, which highlights your double standard. Number four, and lastly, you said we should be careful in how we treat children of God. As a man of faith, where is your responsibility to act with love and truth? You promised me an apology years ago, but it's yet to come. Unlike the music industry, which you rightly criticize, we have audio documentation of your actions. Shouldn't you be held accountable too? Lastly, she says in closing, I hope your words at Angie's funeral inspire you to correct the wrongs done to my family and me. You have power to do so. As you shared biblical teaching, please remember, what will it profit a man to gain? Oh, come on, Angie, reading the Bible. Monique, what will it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Which is Mark 8:36. She says, we await your response with love and respect, Monique and Sydney. That is what
Mm.
this whole letter says. All right,
Who's
Yolanda,
going first?
Ashlyn, Jacory.
Because I'm here for this. Who's going?
Uh,
I
okay.
think
Oh
So,
I
my.
I think this is the power of social media and it being activated, because I feel as though some of these things need to be behind the scene conversations.
I
And
agree.
what we do is just like at church. If the pastor says something you don't want to hear, you're gonna leave the church and start your own church. My thing is, at the end of the day, pick up the phone. I know she's upset because I probably would be upset too if you took hundreds of millions of dollars from me, babies, as she
Yeah.
says. But I'm just like, somebody, where is Oprah? Somebody to help them have a red table discussion so we
Come
can get to
on.
the next phase, because this phase is just keeps repeating, and I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Before you all chime in, let me just put a couple of comments up here. Dee Dee Felder says that, first of all, Stacey Downs says that she needs to go heal. Dee Dee Felder further says Monique needs to heal. I understand how she may feel, but I think she should have waited to address him. It was all about Angie. Geesh.
Yeah.
Mama Yolanda, your mother, Jacory says it's not about her. And then we have Tyra Welch, who chimes in and says, part of me wants to say, Tyler, give her the apology she needs. However, what Monique is missing forgiveness is the way to heal yourself within. No one should have that much control over your emotions. Ashlyn, I'm going to come to you next, and then Yolanda, I'll come to you.
This just makes me so sad. I have to really be honest. This just makes me so sad because first of all, what year is this? 2025.
2025. Mm-hmm.
So we're going back 9 years. We're going back to, she mentioned 2016. We're going back 9 years. So Monique has had a tough run. She has. She's had a tough run. She made a decision with the Netflix special that started this snowball effect. But I tell you what, we're over it.
Yeah.
We've gotten past it, girl. We love you. We forgave. We moved on. We're not still hung up on what coulda, shoulda, woulda been done. But it seems like, and my heart hurts for her because I know what it's like to carry a burden, like wanting for others to validate, wanting for others to apologize, wanting for others to change, wanting for others to do. But at some point, we have to turn from our wicked ways, seek his face, pray, humble ourselves, and then he will heal the land. We have work to do before God will heal the land. And the land that she's standing on is in disappointment, it's in discouragement, it's in bitterness, it's in all these things. But the Bible is true. What did he say? I believe the word. I believe the Bible. And so I just really hope that in this season that she has some wise counsel that can give her some wise counsel. I counsel just because you have counsel does not mean that it's wise counsel. You have to be very careful who you surround yourself with, and you have to be
Facts.
very careful who your advisors are. And I think that right now she and her husband are a package deal, and ever since it's just been like fighting and spewing out. Look, let Angie rest first of all. Could she rest first for a day before you come attacking people at the funeral? And what Tyler said was for Angie. It wasn't for you. That was not for you. Those words were not for you. That was for Angie, and that he was in a position to do that for Angie. But you all need to have a sit down. I love that idea. I don't know that Oprah wants to get involved in this mess, because that's what it is. It's mess. Sometimes you have to take responsibility for your own emotions and your own words and your own actions, and stop expecting other people to do what you think they're supposed to do. People
Yeah.
are never going to be who you want them to be. They're only going to be who they are. And
Mhm.
the sooner that you realize that, the sooner that you can heal and that you can move on to other things. Because I would love for Monique to do a comedy special. I would love to see her do another movie. I would love to see her creative gifts to be used, but not from this angle that's just bitter and negativity. That makes me not want to fool with her. And that's kind of just where I'm at. But it's not just her. It would be anybody. I distance myself from people that have bitterness. I distance myself from people who spew out negativity or that have expectations. Do you know what forgiveness is? Forgiveness is letting somebody off the hook emotionally for something they could, for a debt they could never pay back.
Absolutely.
A debt they could never pay back. And your debt, Monique, your debt is so huge. You have made the debt so huge that nobody can repay it. Nobody can repay it. So at some point, you have to turn that over to Jesus and let him heal you.
Mm.
Surrender. I surrender all. That doesn't mean some. That doesn't mean what I have over here. That means all. You surrender all to him and let him heal the land. Please,
I love
please.
it. Let me chime in. I'm going to do two things at once. Let me first of all add Demetrius Hunter to the conversation. Demetrius, welcome to the show. Welcome to the conversation. Ashlyn, you said something in particular that I want to give my personal spin on as well. You talked about what real forgiveness is. I love what you said, and allow me just to add to what you said. Forgiveness is for me. Forgiveness is giving up your right to get even
Mhm.
and giving up your right to be mad.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say it again. Real forgiveness. When you have real forgiveness, when you've grown into real forgiveness, it means giving up your right to get even. Because that's what she wants. That's what Monique is trying to do. She wants to get even. She wants to be able to even out the playing field. And then you got to give up your right to get mad. You got to be able to let go and let God, as my cousin just chimes in and says from Fort Worth, Texas, Bishop Daryl Andreas Shaw chimes in and says, let's get it and let's go. I'm not mad at you, bro. Before I come to Demetrius, Yolanda, I just wanted to throw it out to you as we talk about this particular situation. What's your thought on it?
So I think there are, several points that can be made. So not being long-winded. Number one, dang man, there's just so many thoughts. My first thought that when Ashley was talking was, I remember there was a situation that I experienced where someone had wronged me. They Demetrius knows what it is, but they had wronged me. They said I did something that I literally did not do. And I remember I went to Sam Franklin's church, and I was there with Michelle and the whole crew of people. And Michelle told me, you need to go for prayer. And I said, okay. So I go for prayer. The woman prayed for me. She said, you have to accept you may never get an apology. She said, you didn't do it. And the lady didn't even know what happened, right? So prophecy really does work. And the lady, or words of wisdom, words of acknowledgement. And the lady said, you may have to accept, you may never get an apology. You're gonna have to accept that. And so part of that is, I think Miss Monique has to accept that we know at this point that there was some things that she did not do, like that were not her fault. She was not in error. She was X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, you do have to accept at some point, whatever your situation is, that sometimes you will not get an apology. Thank you, Jesus. The other part is I can hear my mom saying, you're wrestling, you're struggling at night, but they sleeping at night. So sometimes it's difficult as it may be, you have to move forward because you're causing unnecessary stress, unnecessary emotion on your life that that doesn't have a place. There's nothing you can do at this point, right? I do agree that we know Miss Angie Stone passing for some reason outside of her family, but people that had not even met her, for some reason, it is such a push. It's like such a knock. And I think to take away from that moment, respectfully, Miss Monique, was a little selfish, because it actually was not about you or about the things he said was right. And I think sometimes people have a struggle with that, because you can be wrong as two left shoes, but something can come out of your mouth that is correct. And you have to be able to decipher those moments. And so it wasn't about you. It was about her. And we should just relish in this moment and just honor this woman. And the things he said was right. You at some point, either you write him again, you know where he's at, you're in I think she lives in Atlanta, you go down to the studio, you sit down, you have a conversation. But you also have to accept he may not want to talk. He may not want to have the conversation with you for whatever reason. And I think we have to be okay in accepting, I'm not going to get the apology. My dad told me something one time, and I'm going to make it all tie together. I asked my dad one time, why do people who do drugs keep going back? He said, because they're trying to accomplish the high they got the first time, but you'll never get it. And I feel like this is Monique. She's trying to accomplish whatever high occurred originally, but you're never going to get that again. And you keep chasing something that's not there. I think you should pray, allow God to heal, and allow God to open the doors that are meant for you on the other side. Yeah, but the relationship, and this other thing I know to be true too. If you allow God to do what he does, if you allow him to take presidents, if you allow him to take vengeance as lords, if you allow him to do what he does, he will work on someone's heart in a way that you cannot. And you'll look up one day, Miss Monique, because she really is a sweet lady. I bet her she's like really, really nice. If you wake up one day and Tyler Perry, you'll get a call, a random call. Thank you, Lord. And a random call, and he said, you know what? I'm sorry. But you can't make people do that. They have to come to their own truth. They have to come to their own conviction. They have to come to their own resolution. So, amen. I'm done. But I think this was a sad moment. Like this was like, and then social media has so much commentary. They have so much comments. So you just give people a moment to fuel. We already got a lot against us. We don't need no more. Absolutely. You got to be responsible.
Amen. I'm with it. I love it. Great info. Demetrius, last but not least, you being in the Atlanta area, I'm sure you saw what we were talking about, and so I'm sure you've seen the comments that Monique made, man. Close us out in this particular thing. You have 2.5 minutes, man. So the virtual floor is yours, bro.
I think everybody pretty much has summed it up. One thing that me and the core people have had a discussion of is we're not going to allow her space to bring negativity to a moment that was not created for her or by her.
Oh, good.
So I have nothing to say. I'm not going to sit here and say she was wrong. Yeah, she was definitely wrong for that. This had nothing to do with Tyler Perry. This wasn't a Tyler Perry. This wasn't an award show. This was none of that. This is a funeral service that you took to build a moment off of you. Mo, go write your next skit for another Netflix. That's all you need to be worried about.
Yeah.
And that's
period.
No fuel for negative energy. Not in 2020. We're not going to disrespect people like that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
I love it, man. I think it's great. And as we get ready to close out this segment, first of all, I appreciate all of you all chiming in, as well as all of our listeners who've been chiming in and making things happen. I just want to say this too, in regards to this situation. it's unfortunate that Monique, in my opinion, has allowed Tyler Perry to put veto power over her life. Never give anyone veto power over your life. Never get stunted your growth to where you, because one person said something that you can't go any further. Never give anyone veto power over your life. Never give anyone power to tell you no that don't have the power to absolutely say yes on
Mhm.
your life. So
Mhm.
so Monique, please, ma'am, sometimes you got to just let things go. Never give people that veto power over your life. Let it go. Move on. Sidria Clark says something in particular I just want to highlight. I know I put it on the screen earlier, but she said this that really got my attention. She says, not forgiving someone is the same as ingesting poison, but expecting the other person to die.
That's so good.
Now that's
That's
good,
so
Sidria.
good, lady.
Yeah, that's a good one. Now, Jacory, your brother chimes in, James Protho II, and says, you have to see the actions of others that wrong you for what they actually are. Attacks from the enemy. No shit, did it? Watch it. He says, attacks from the enemy that are intended to distract you from God's will for your life. And the longer you sit in it, the longer the enemy wins. Ooh,
Preach,
I love
brother.
that.
Yeah,
I
you're giving
love
people
that.
more. You're giving. I'm sorry. You're giving it more than than it deserves. Let me say this, because on the other side, right, you know, the devil's advocate. We know you were wronged, and you deserve to be
Yeah.
advocated. You deserve to to have an apology. You deserve for someone to say she's right. And we saw this with Taraji Pence. We've seen that these things really do happen. The problem is you took a moment that was someone for someone else, and you
Yes.
made
Yeah,
it about you.
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
And
Most
that
Well,
definitely.
auntie
hopefully,
stuff, that auntie
Only
stuff
problem for
don't
me.
work in today's world. So that boo and the way you talking,
Mm-mm.
everybody ain't gonna receive that. Into the world of
Mm.
today, these
Mm-mm.
little kids will look at you like, who you talking to?
yeah,
So that
Mm-hmm.
that may be why they think you hard to work with, because all of them boos and come on, honey, that don't work for
yeah,
everybody.
It's
I'm
Mm-mm.
your
with you.
approach. It's ways to go about expressing how you feel about a
Right.
situation or you've been
That's right.
wrongdoing, and you can do that. And she basically did that after the whole movie that came out and that whole the whole y'all. What movie was that? Precious, I think it was.
Yeah,
Is when
I
Mm-hmm.
know.
everything kind of started, and you did your part. You be special, and okay, we just sat and listened to you, and I was kind of like, okay, no shade, y'all kind of play with her money, but
Yeah,
know, on the back end of things, when you get to digging into things, it's looking at things. I'm just gonna say
We're
this: a
we're
lot of
only as
times,
good as the thing that we've done today. We're
mhm,
only as good as the thing that we have done today.
I like
So
that. That's good stuff. Listen, I'm looking up at the clock, y'all. Before we go, I just want to say one thing. Those of you in the Bay Area, upcoming event this coming weekend. Those of you in the Bay Area, we're talking about it's National Women's Month. Those of you in the Bay Area, this weekend at Glad Tidings, it is our women's conference.
come
It starts on
on.
Friday with an event there in the church where they are going to be putting together vision boards and preparing themselves for the rest of the year. If you're in the Bay Area, it's going to be great. Saturday, they're making a trip up to Napa just to eat. Just let y'all know they're going up there to eat. And then lastly, on Sunday morning, we will have from the Texas area, Evangelist Beatrice Gardner will be our guest on this coming Sunday morning at 9
yes,
a.m. So if you're in the Bay Area, women or men, if you want to come and be able to partake of the goodness of the Lord, meet us this coming Sunday morning, 9
Nice.
a.m. at Glad Tidings. All right, y'all.
it's
It's
for
time for us to get
everybody,
ready to go. Yeah, everybody can come.
the women or everybody.
Everybody.
Y'all need
All
to go
right.
hear that garden. That lady
Yeah,
can
yeah, she's no
preach.
joke. She's no joke. Listen, if
Woo!
you will allow me to tell you as we close today, as a closing comment, as in a final thought, it leads me back to what you all were saying. You all gave some great advice on how Sister Monique. I'm just going to make her churchified. How she should have probably handled this. I will say this as we close. It says in the Bible that things may be lawful, but they may not be expedient.
Mm.
Meaning, it could be the right thing to say, but it definitely was not the right time. In As you all have said already, uh, she probably needs, if she wants to try to get some resolution, reach out to Tyler Perry directly, make an appointment at his studio, have a sit-down conversation. Doesn't need social media and all that kind of stuff. You make the apology that you may be searching for or seeking may not come over the airwaves of social media. But go and have that conversation with your friend and make things work for you and for him. Don't give people veto power over your life. Make things happen. Again,
Yes.
for real forgiveness, give up the power to get mad and give up the power to get even.
Yeah.
Jacory reminds me as we close this coming Saturday in Oakland, the services for Dwayne Wiggins in Oakland. I will get the flyer. I will post it on social media. I should have had it today, but I'll make sure that I post that. On behalf of all of us here at Shop Talk, we appreciate you hanging out with us. On behalf of Yolanda Morant, Jacory Prothro, Demetrius Hunter, and Ashlyn Cole, my name is Demetrius Tollfree. Till the next time on this same Shop Talk network at this same Shop Talk time. I can't even do it like I want to, but you can help me say it. I'll
Holla.
holla.
Holla.